This is the Louie T Network.
Who else could it be? Me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the lockdown coverage week number 5. The National Football League. The Arizona Cardinals taking on the Philadelphia Eagles at the Link. And this one stinks. If you're the Arizona Cardinals, this one got ugly quick. 21-0 by the end of one. 34-7 was your final score. The Cardinals never had a chance in this game. They were dominated early. They were dominated often. They were dominated on the ground. They were dominated through the air. They got after Carson Palmer defensively. He missed throws. They were overmatched in this game, to say the least. And I've said this a number of times. This is not a good Arizona Cardinals football team offensively. Even though they have weapons, Carson Palmer probably should have retired in the offseason. But then again, what would they have had at quarterback had he done so? DJ getting injured in week 1 was the worst possible outcome for this Cardinals team because he's such a huge part of what they do offensively. That's the problem with relying so heavily upon one player and having them be such a huge chunk of your offense. When you rely that heavily upon one player and they get injured, what does that leave for the rest of your offense? That's what you're seeing with this Cardinals football team right now. When they're not playing the Indianapolis Colts, when they're not playing the San Francisco 49ers, they find it tough to score. They find it tough to stop the other team from scoring, and they lose football games. And so we've seen that this year. When they haven't played someone inferior, someone that finds it tough to score, they don't get it done. It's that simple. And they've got 3 losses on the season now. They lost to Detroit in week 1. They gave up over 30 points. They lost to Dallas in week 3. I think they gave up over 30 points in that game as well. If not, high 20s for sure. And they lost in this game, and they gave up over 30 points again. And in their 2 wins, they didn't score more than 20 points. But again, the teams that they were playing didn't score many points either. And so they didn't have to. And that's going to be the problem with this Cardinals team all year long. As for the Eagles, who we're going to talk about for the vast majority of this video, they were the ones doing the ass whooping. And so they're 4-1. And I had a nice conversation with my dad. He's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Redskins fan. We're NFC East aficionados. That's what we'll call ourselves. And we had a really candid conversation about the Eagles. And we both were in agreement. This is going to be a tough team in the NFC East this year. Early on, you said, okay, this is cute. We don't know where this is going yet. But after looking at the Giants, looking at the Cowboys, looking at the Redskins, looking at the Eagles, they're here to stay. And they're going to be around. I don't know if they're going to win this division or not, but they're going to make a hell of a run at winning this division. And they're the one thing you don't want to see a team like the Eagles, a young team with a lot of new parts, do is gain confidence. And with every passing week that they're able to put another win in the left-hand column, they're gaining more and more confidence. And I think Carson Wentz said something to the effect of, we're the bullies in this division and we're going to go out and prove it. And comments and statements like that show that they're gaining more and more confidence. He would have never made that statement after, going into the season. He would have never made that statement after week 1 nor week 2. But after you win 3 straight games, you start to gain confidence. And you start beating teams, and you start to gain confidence. And they're 2-0 in the NFC East. They're 3-0 overall in the NFC Conference. They're gaining confidence. Slowly but surely, this Eagles team is gaining confidence. And this ass whooping is more proof and evidence of the fact that they are gaining confidence in what they're doing as a football team. We'll get into that here in a second. But first, if you haven't already done so, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content in 2017 and beyond. We're changing the game over here. I want you to help us do that by simply hitting that subscribe button and becoming a member of the Louie T Network. I've got a number of social media platforms. There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Facebook. That's all in the description. All the links to my different social media platforms are in the description down below. Click on the link. It will take you where you need to go so that you can be in tune to what's going on this channel. I've had people tell me, man, I'm not getting your feeds when you go live. I got the notifications turned on YouTube, and they should work. I don't know why they're not working, but if you've got your backup plan in place, it's just like having a hard drive, but also having that memory stick and making sure you back up all your files. You know, it never hurts to just make sure you got everything backed up just in case something goes awry. That's where Twitter comes into play. I go live, there's a Twitter feed that goes out, boom, you get it, you know, okay, he's live right now, let me check him out. So it's imperative that you start to use all of the tools that are given to you, and that's in the description down below, as well as the ability to donate to the channel. That's how you do it via PayPal. All donations are welcome. I can't tell you how thankful I am for all of you viewers out there that I have, and all of you that have been able to donate. I really appreciate your contribution to this channel. We're trying to grow, and the best way to do that is to have you guys contribute. And I can't thank you enough for any and every donation that comes my way via you, the viewers out there. Can't thank you enough. So with that being said, let's get to this breakdown quickly, because I don't want to spend too much time here on this breakdown, because obviously the Arizona Cardinals didn't spend too much time being competitive in this football game. So I don't really want to divulge too much time to them. I just really want to focus a lot on the Eagles and what they were able to get done in this game. And then we'll give the Cardinals just a little teeny bit of time, because that's what they gave in terms of effort in this football game. So that's what we'll give them on this program. You go to the Eagles, though, it was dominant all the way around. They came, they saw, they conquered, and they blew the Arizona Cardinals out of the water in this football game. Like I said, 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. Carson Wentz was extremely sharp. He continues to show his escapability in the pocket. That's what I think makes him the most dangerous, is his ability to escape, make plays with his legs. You miss him in the pocket, and you're going to pay whether he runs for a first down or he finds someone down the field. His ability to manipulate the pocket is getting better as well. As you saw on that touchdown pass to Nelson Agholor, which was a thing of beauty. Agholor then breaking off rookie Buda Baker with a nasty in-out cut, and just put that man on his ass and on his stomach and got into the end zone. That was just freak nasty. And it's good to see Nelson Agholor, who a lot of Eagles fans thought was going to be a bust. And this is why I always tell people, don't throw that word around so loosely, because everyone doesn't mature as a player at the same rate. Sometimes it takes a guy 2 years. Sometimes it takes a guy 3 years. Sometimes it takes a guy 4 years into his rookie deal before the light bulb finally comes on and he finally starts to get it. Or he's able to stay healthy and he's able to show you what he's capable of. Some guys hit the ground running, and those are the guys we want to compare everybody to. Why isn't he like Kareem Hunt? Or why isn't he like this receiver? Or why isn't he like this tight end? Or why isn't he like this quarterback? Because they're not the same guys. They don't have the same DNA. Every player is not the same. They all need an opportunity to grow at their own rate. Nelson Agholor finally putting it all together in his third NFL season. And that's fun to watch. I told you, I'm always rooting for young players to blossom in this league, and Nelson Agholor is starting to get it. And Carson Wentz, it's good to see those two growing together, because Wentz is coming of age, and Torrey Smith getting involved, him getting a touchdown. And I thought the celebration on that touchdown was awesome, with the baseball knocking it out of the park. And you got Alshon Jeffrey as the catcher, and you got a pitcher there, and Torrey Smith knocking it out of the park. That was awesome. I love the fact that the NFL are allowing these guys to celebrate, because these celebrations as a team, they're awesome. And so Eagles were having fun. And I continue, and I know this is something that Eagles fans don't want to hear, and I continue to harp on this every single week, but is it me, or I feel like Doug Peterson doesn't feel like LeGarrette Blount is a great fit for this offense. I keep saying this. People keep saying I'm crazy. Why is he not starting? Why is he not getting a lot of touches in the first half of games? Again, he's not starting. Okay, we saw a ton of Kenyon Barner in this game early. He had a huge punt return early in this ball game. We saw a lot of him in the backfield. We continue to see a number of different guys get opportunities to touch the rock. Soon we're going to probably see Corey Clement get opportunities to touch the rock before LeGarrette Blount does. Blount seems to be the closer late in the game, especially when they have a lead and they just want to run the clock out. He didn't really start getting touches until the second half of this game. He only had 14 rushes. It's not like this guy's getting a ton. Even when he's having a great game, he doesn't go over 20 touches. Like, it's almost like they're reluctant to give him the football, but they say, okay, we got to give him some touches, so let's give him some touches. Like, I still kind of get that vibe like they feel like Sproles would be a better option, but he's hurt. Wendell Smallwood would be a better option. That even Kenyon Barner would be a better option. I don't know. It's just, maybe it's just me. I seem to not be able to put my finger on why he's not playing more, why he's not getting more touches. Because every time he touches the football, it seems like he's doing something good, picking up yards and yards after contact. But it just seems to be me, I guess. In any event, Carson Wentz, 4 touchdown passes in this game. He was dominant. The run game was dominant. This football team offensively as a whole was dominant. Big plays galore. They absolutely took it to this Cardinals team early in this game, put them in their place early, and that's what you do to inferior football teams. You let them know right off the bat, this is not your day. It's not going to be your day, and there's no way you're winning this game. And 21-0 at the end of the first quarter said that loud and clear to the Arizona Cardinals. As you get to this defense, I thought they did a great job of just getting after Carson Wentz, stopping the run game. Look, Chris Johnson and the painter Sherwin Williams and all of those guys, none of those guys should scare you at all in the backfield. There's no reason to be afraid of anything they have on the offensive side of the football in the backfield. That being said, you take away the run and you force Carson Palmer, who I don't think is capable of doing this any longer, you force him to beat you. They've got weapons. John Brown, Jaron Brown. They've got a ton of guys. Larry Fitzgerald still doing it at a very high level. They've got a ton of guys at receiver that can hurt you. But if you take away the run and you get after Carson Palmer, he won't make the throws to hurt you. They've got the weapons to hurt you, but he won't make the plays to hurt you. And the Eagles got after him in this game. They got after the run game. They made Carson Palmer uncomfortable. Your end result is a bunch of throws up in the air, up for grabs that the Eagles probably should have picked off. Early in this game, they had opportunities to pick some passes off. They let them slip through their fingers. But they got their opportunities. They took advantage of some of them. Palmer was inaccurate and errant all day, and a lot of that was due to pressure. That's Carson Palmer in a nutshell. So the Eagles did what they were supposed to do defensively, shut down the run game, make it impossible for them to stay balanced, put them behind the chains and the downs and distances, and make them have to throw it, pin your ears back, go after Carson Palmer, make him uncomfortable, and you'll get the results that you're seeking, and that's what they got in this game. And so dominant performance all the way around. Even special teams chipped in, and we know the Eagles are one of the better special teams units in all of football, especially when it comes to the returns game. A big return early in this game kind of jump-started the Eagles going in the right direction, and they really never looked back in this game. So the Eagles doing big things in all 3 phases of the game as they dominate the Arizona Cardinals 34-7 to get to 4-1 on the season, and now have a nice little sizable cushion in the NFC East, as they're the only team with 4 wins, and no other team has 3 wins in that division right now. So Eagles sitting pretty in the NFC East, but shit's about to get real for the Eagles. On the road, Thursday night against the 4-1 Panthers. The following week, Monday Night Football versus the Redskins. They could easily lose the next 2 games and be tied atop the NFC East with the Redskins, or even trailing the Redskins after 2 weeks. So shit's about to get real. If the Eagles are serious, they'll win at least one of the next 2, if not both of the next 2 games. That'll prove that they're serious. They sweep the Redskins, they're going to win this division most likely. If they go out and beat Carolina on the road, then I will say not only are the Eagles probably going to be the favorite from here on out to win the NFC East, they're looking like one of the best teams in the NFC conference. So shit's about to get real for the Eagles. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to find out just how good this Eagles football team is over the next couple of weeks, because it's about to ratchet up on their ass. They've played some games. I don't want to say the competition that they've played has been lackluster. They played the Redskins. They played the Chiefs. This Chargers team, believe it or not, 0-4 or now 1-4, that's still a dangerous team. I don't discount anything the Eagles have done to this point in the season, but shit's about to get real for the Eagles. We're going to find out just how good they are, but that's what you do. Good teams dominate bad teams, and that's what the Eagles did in this game, and they're looking like a good football team right now at 4-1. Quickly with the Cardinals, this is what I expect from them. When they play good teams, this is what I expect from them. They're not a good team. I've been saying that all season, especially without David Johnson. They don't stand a chance offensively. Carson Palmer is not a good quarterback at this point of his career. They lack a lot of the things you need to be an effective offense, and it starts at the quarterback position. Their offensive line is a mess. You saw that again in this game. They can't run the football with any success nor regularity. And so they just are going to struggle on that side of the football. They have struggled on that side of the football all season long. You go to the defense, and it's a mess over there as well. Even though they've got talent, you're seeing them struggle to get to the quarterback, which is a problem. You're seeing them having issues stopping the run, which is a problem. They still have a problem opposite Patrick Peterson. Justin Bethel was beat numerous times in this game. Buda Baker got beat for a deep ball. You saw Patrick Peterson explode on the sidelines. He was pissed off. He's getting upset because everybody but him is getting beat, and there's nothing he can do about it. Teams aren't stupid. They're not going to throw his way. You saw when Carson Wentz threw his way in this game once, he almost picked it off. And so Wentz said, you know what? Probably not the smartest thing in the world to go after Patrick Peterson when I can go after Justin Bethel, when I can go after the rookie Buda Baker, when I can pick on all these other defenders, not named Patrick Peterson, and have success. Why would I do that? You know, when I can get Torrey Smith on a deep crossing route over the middle to beat Justin Bethel for a touchdown, why would I go after Patrick Peterson? When I can beat Buda Baker down the field to Nelson Aguilar and have him juke the draws off of him and score a touchdown, why would I go after Patrick Peterson again? Where's the psychological sense in that? I need to wash my face if I think it's a good idea to go after one of the best corners in the league when I can pick on everybody else in that secondary. So what do you think other teams are going to do? Stay away from 21, attack 29, attack 32, attack 37, or whoever the hell else is out there in the secondary. Attack every other guy but 21. You'll have success against that Cardinals secondary. That's what the Eagles did. That's the blueprint, and that's what's going to continue to happen for the remainder of the season. Things are about to go downhill for this Cardinals football team. Now, they probably have some more winnable games on their schedule. They do play in the NFC West, which means you're going to get San Francisco one more time, which means you're going to have a chance to beat the Rams, even though they're playing good football. I don't know if they're ready yet to start dominating the Arizona Cardinals. So they're going to have opportunities to win some games. They're going to be in some ball games, but all in all, this is not the Arizona Cardinals team that we saw make the playoffs a couple of years ago. That is gone. That's come and gone. It's past. This team is probably heading for a rebuilding stage. Larry Fitzgerald is probably going to be done after this season. Carson Palmer is probably going to be done after this season. The running back position is a mess after David Johnson. Andre Ellington, I just think he's a third down back. I don't like Kerwin Williams. So Chris Johnson is past his prime. The tight end position could use a little bit of revamping. Love the receivers. Think they're fine there. Offensive line needs a lot of work. This is a team that needs work on the offensive side of the football. They could use another pass rusher, especially after you lose Marcus Golden for the season. That doesn't help you at all. So they're just going to struggle. They're just going to struggle. Bottom line, and you saw that in this game, and they get their ass handed to them 34-7 as they drop to 2-3 on the season, and the Eagles move to 4-1. Let's get to any comments that may be out there. Reeve says, "Come on, Lou, been waiting like 6 hours, man." LOL. Hey, I was going to do this last night, and then I realized something. I'm tired. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I should probably go to bed. And so I moved it to this morning, and then I got up, and it took me a while to get everything going, but I'm here, man. And like I always tell you, maybe late, but still great. So I apologize for the wait, Reeve, but still great anyway. Good to hear from you, though. Disco Jump Rope says, "I knew the Eagles were going to be good this year after all the additions they made. Carson Palmer has to be done after this year." And I think that is the case. I think he's going to be done. And the Eagles are a good football team. And I'm anxious to see how they handle this next stretch of games, because Panthers on a Thursday night, and the Panthers are playing outstanding football, 2 4-1 teams. And the Panthers have a history of dominating the Eagles on primetime television in Carolina. They've done it the last 2 times. We're going to see if they can make it a 3rd straight win over these Eagles on a primetime. But nonetheless, we're going to find out just how good the Eagles are. This next stretch of games is going to tell a lot about this Eagles football team. Reeby says, "Good to see us playing towards our potential. I'm pumped at seeing this team put all phases together as a total team. Loved every part of this." He says, "Foots is a non-factor, back end holding it up." I don't know. We're going to see. She also says, "Maybe saving Blunt for the second half, keeping him fresh, used for 3rd downs and situational plays during the first half, and fresher for the second. Clock control and needed power at the end." I can agree with that. But there's sometimes at the beginning of games where I'm like this game, you saw where it was trending in the first half, where you didn't really need him. And so, yeah, you want to run out the clock in the second half. I can understand that. But there are games where you're like, hey, he needs the ball in the first half. This is not going to be a blowout. And you want to wear the team down. You want to be able to run and stay balanced. And they don't choose to do that with him a lot of times in the first half. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Reeby says, "We will find out how serious. Would love to pull out Thursday night so we can hopefully make a home field advantage run. Loving what we are putting together. Pedal on the metal." We're going to see. This Thursday game is huge. This is the most anticipated Thursday night game of the season for me. Thus far, I'm trying to think. There hasn't been one bigger for me on the schedule thus far. 4-1, big time football in the NFC. A game with NFC East implications, NFC conference implications. This is going to be a big one on Thursday night, absolutely. Reeby also says, "You are doing your thing, and I love it. You had to be tired. I was wondering why you were up so late then." Yeah, I watch the games. Normally I watch them at home. I watched them at my mom and dad's house, watched it with my dad and my sisters, just kind of kicked it with the fam. Always good to catch up with the fam and watch a little football with them. And so in doing so, that took away from me going live after the games as I watched them. So in doing that, I wanted to knock out a couple of games before I went to bed. And so that's why I was up so late. And I thought about doing this Eagles game, but then I spent so much time on the other games that I did last night. I was like, I'm going to bed. So in any event, I appreciate you guys checking it out. And the Eagles continue to look like a really good team in the NFC. And there are a number of good teams in the NFC. The Eagles are putting themselves up there among the NFC's best at 4-1 with another dominant victory, this time versus the Arizona Cardinals at home to run their record to 4-1 with the 34-7 demolition of the Arizona Cardinals. For the Cardinals, it's a continued trend of losing to teams that are better than them and beating the teams that are inferior to them. They're now 2-3 on the season. The two teams that they were supposed to beat, the Colts and the 49ers, they did so even though both of them took overtime to do so. They were able to get the wins. The three teams that were better than them, the Lions, the Cowboys, and the Eagles, they lose to those teams. And really none of those games, maybe outside of the Cowboys game, was really close. You could argue the Lions game was close up until the fourth quarter when the Lions went off and scored about 18 unanswered points. But nonetheless, that's nor here nor there. This Cardinals team 2-3 after getting their brains bashed in on the road at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to do it for your man Louie T here on Lockdown Coverage. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on the Louie T Network. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. I got another ass whooping on deck. The Jags destroying the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Who knew? Coming back with that one next. I'll see you in a sec.